Can you imagine if I were correct? And it is I will have a 12-year-old. I will be so smug, it is unbelievable. Good evening and welcome to the Whiskey Lover Society with me, Gert Retief. And tonight I continue with my series on some blind tasting. I'm just going to give you a quick reminder on what it's all about. For the people that missed number one, I will put a link over here so that you can go have a look what the fuss is all about. Spoiler alert, it was the Port Charlotte, absolutely fantastic whiskey. That's my first Port Charlotte that I've ever had. I really enjoyed it. And it was fun to do a little bit of a blind tasting. So just a quick reminder, I have 10 samples. Well, now we have 9 samples left. I pick one at random, no idea what it is. I also have a key, and from the previous video, I was a little bit worried because it was all on one page and it's all numbered. So I was a little bit worried that because it's all on one page that I might see what the other whiskies are. So I did make a little bit of a change. So I did ask my son to cut it up for me into little strips so that I can only see the numbers on top. So that means I don't have to look at what the whiskies are. So I think that makes it a little bit better and a little bit more transparent. So as usual, I take one of the bottles, random bottles. So I'll pick this one. This is sample number 4. I hope you can see on the camera. I pour it in, give it a nose and a taste, and then I decide if I like it or not. So there's no outside influences by naming a company, by seeing maybe it's a 25-year-old and the brain tells you it must be a fantastic whiskey. So it's a pure blind tasting. After the tasting and my initial thoughts, and I give it a thumbs up or thumbs down, then I will go stop the video, go online, get more information on the whiskey, and I will come back and I will give you a little bit more detailed information on that specific whiskey. So number 4, I'm just going to give it a pour. As usual, I only do about half of the bottle, so I leave a little bit for later on if I want to do a more detailed review. So on this one, I start off with a color. Well, nowadays it's a little bit difficult, especially with all this extra colorant that they put in. So you don't really know if it's a sherry whiskey or not. But if I look at the color, it's a nice golden copper color coming out. So the initial thought, it might be a little bit of a sherry whiskey. I'm not sure, but we'll see if we can find it on the nose. So on sample number 4, on the nose, cheers. Ooh, that is nice. Now, I did thought it might be a sherry influence. Definitely on the nose, I do get a little bit of that sherry influence. So, I presume that is definitely going to be something that was matured in sherry cask, maybe Oloroso. Not sure. I'm not that refined yet. So the first thing that I do pick up is a nice, lovely sweetness to it. Alcohol-wise, I'm definitely not going to be, I don't think it is something that is just over 40% ABV. It feels a little bit higher proof than that, maybe a little bit more than the 46% ABV, but definitely not less than 46% ABV. Then I get a lovely sweetness, and I get a chocolate note, like a dark chocolate, but it is something that is added to the chocolate. Here in Belgium, we have all these different types of chocolate, and they have also one with a little bit of a cocoa powder dusting on top of it. Not decadently sweet, but it just got that the same notes of that dark chocolate covered with cocoa powder. And then I get a hint of a caramel note on top of that. Maybe with a sprinkling of a salt, just to get an extra boost of flavor. So that for me I get, and it is actually very nice, very pleasant. I also get a little bit of a something like a candied orange. There's little segments that you can get where it is overly candied, overly sweet, the soft, chewy ones. Not very strong, but I do get a hint of an orange note at the back. A little bit reminds me also a little bit of a toasted type of nut, maybe a toasted almond with a little bit of a caster sugar on it, in that moving into that direction of a nutty note. This is really, really nice. I have no idea what it is, but I do like the nose on it. If I think about the sherry notes, I do get that little bit of a raisiny sweetness, maybe also a little bit of a raisins covered with a little bit of a chocolate. That effect when you first open up a packet of chocolate covered raisins, that sweetness coming out, a little bit of a raisin note coming out, and that little chocolate cacao influence on it. Really nice on it. It does remind me a little bit of the Abelauer 12-year-old. Quite similar to that. Now, I know I've got a bottle here somewhere, and I don't want to look now, because if I look at the color, it might look quite similar to it, and I might be completely wrong. But maybe afterwards I will also have a look at the Abelauer. But I do get a little bit of that Abelauer 12-year-old in it. Really nice. So, can you imagine if I were correct, and it is an Abelauer 12-year-old? I will be so smug, it is unbelievable. But yeah, I do like it. I do like the chocolatey, the intensity of it. Not overly intense, it is just a nice smooth whiskey for me. But of course we need to try it as well. So on the taste, cheers. I approve of this one. And again I get that Abelauer 12. I do get a little bit of that chocolate note, it's definitely still there. Alcohol-wise, now I get a little bit of a bitter note, and that's also something that I picked up on the Abelauer 12 years old. It was a little bit of a bitter note. In the end, I was not a big fan of it, because it tended to build up on that oakiness for me. So I do get on sip number 1, I do get a little bit of a oaky note. Let me just try again. There is definitely a nice alcohol warmth to it. I do get a little bit of a youthful note in it, but the alcohol definitely above 46%. But I don't think it is way more, maybe 40. I don't think it goes up to 40. I don't think it goes more than 50%. So I think anything from 46 to maybe the 50% ABV for me. But I like the taste. Definitely the sherry notes of it. Just want to make sure. That sherry notes is definitely there. And I think that chocolate covered raisins is a very good description on what I'm tasting now. If you take that chocolate, you chew it a little bit, but not. Here in Belgium, we get a packet of trail mix where we have some dried fruit, raisins, and then they have small bits of chocolate in it. And that's something like, so you get the flavors of the dried fruit, and every now and again you bite into a little bit of a chocolate note, and that mixture between the chocolate and that raisins and maybe a dried fig, something similar to that. So the chocolate is definitely not overpowering. More chocolate for me on the nose than on the taste. So I do like it. One more. The sherry, for me, it's not overpowering. And I suspect if the sherry matured, maybe it is not first full sherry or wet cask. It is maybe a second full sherry cask. It doesn't have a big influence. Or maybe that is not just a no age statement whiskey, but it didn't pick up a lot of the sherry influences, and maybe a little bit on the color only. And if you look at the color, not very dark. Of course, it can be colored, so I don't know. So my thoughts on this one. I do like it. If you do like something that is sweet on the nose, sweet on the taste, I will definitely recommend it. Of course, that is me. So I will definitely recommend it. And I think there's something that you would like if you like the sweet things in life. So what is this whiskey? And of course, I do have the key in the box. So all I need to do, I need to find number 4. And I hope you can see. So here we have sticker number 4. And I gently have to pull it out without. And we will see what is the whiskey. And number 4. Okay, so number 4 is the Scallywag, the Chocolate Edition, bottled at 46% ABV. I'm not sure if you can see it. So that is quite interesting. A chocolate edition. I've never had the chocolate edition, but that also means that my Abelauer 12 was a shitty idea. But maybe I can do a quick comparison. I do have the Abelauer here. Well, let me do a quick pour on it, just to see how far off I was. Or maybe I was quite close to it. Or maybe I found an alternative. Now, I don't want to mix this up. This is the Scallywag Chocolate Edition. And this is the Abelauer 12. And if I look at it too, color-wise, it's very similar color-wise. On the nose, the Chocolate Edition. I love the nose. It is really nice. And now that I know that it's a chocolate edition, maybe it's just a power of suggestion, but now I get even more chocolate on it. But if I compare it to the 12-year-old Abelauer, yeah, I think I was. This one has got a little bit more orange in it. So on this one, I did get a little bit of that candied orange, but just a hint of it. And in the Abelauer, it was a lot more of the orange notes. So, completely wrong. But that is beside the point. I'm not going to taste it. Why don't I just give it a one taste? On the taste, it's a little bit more similar, but definitely not the same. So, now the chocolate, even more chocolate on it. Absolutely a fantastic one. I think, have a look, have a taste. I'm going to stop the video quickly and I'll see if I can get some more information on the whiskey so that we know about the maturation, who makes it, and maybe a little bit of a price. So see you in a bit. So I'm back. So today, the blind tasting of the Scallywag the Chocolate Edition, bottled at 48% ABV. So I was quite okay with the ABV. It is sherry matured, so I'm glad that I did pick up the maturation. Could not find anything with regards to the coloring, so I presume that they don't add coloring, but if it's not on a bottle for me, then there could have been some color added, and they did fool me on that one. Chill filtration at 48% ABV, probably non-chill filtered, made by Douglas Lane, and I think it is a Speyside whiskey, and this one is bottled in 2021, and the cost was €60 for a bottle. So price wise, again, yesterday it was about €70 for a bottle, no age statement whiskey. Today we're talking about €60, getting a little bit better priced for a no age statement bottle at 48% ABV. So in the end, it's still for me a little bit pricey, but I did love the nose and I did like the taste. So that's me on the Scallywag the Chocolate Edition of 2021. Have you tried it? What do you think? Is it something that you would encourage your friends to try? Please remember to like and subscribe. We are ticking the up towards the 1,000. Appreciated all the comments on the previous one, and I see you next time. Cheers.